evening and a warm welcome, everyone. And yes, a very, very healthy and a happy new year because this is my first, that is Dr. Suhani ke Sang, Arts or Culture ka Sangam, in collaboration with Brand New here, our first episode in the new year 2021. So I hope all you lovely people are doing absolutely well, hale and hearty. आज मेरे लिए बहुत ही स्पेशल दिन है और ये एपिसोड मेरे लिए बहुत ही स्पेशल होने वाला है. The lady, the wonderful lady inside out, who is known for breaking myths, and that's what violinist Sunita Bhuyan loves to. And she has many such firsts to her credit. So, with a warm round of applause, let's welcome Sunita Bhuyan, the violinist. It's such an honor to have you on my talk show. I
It's
just can't believe it. Thank you so much.
it's my pleasure. You're most welcome, and it's my pleasure and honor to be part of your show, part of a conversation with someone who not just works as a professional, but is so motivated to make a difference in society. So, Suhani, it's wonderful to know you as a person. You and your team make life so much better for people. So, thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Sunita Bhunya is a violinist. In fact, she's the first ever Indian violinist to play Assamese folk on the classical instruments, the violin. And she's fused it with the Scottish and Irish and world folk. There are so many things about this wonderful Wonder Woman that I called her in the world of music. She's a complete boon to us and to our country. It's wonderful having this wonderful soul who's a part of our country because she goes to many countries spreading the wonderful uh, Indian music everywhere through her violin, through the folk music that she plays. So it's really, really, I'm so excited. In fact, I've got goosebumps now just
Oh.
talking about her. And without much ado, I'd like to start the conversation so that we can get to know all about her, which I myself want to know today. So, once again, absolute gratitude that you're giving us this precious time of yours on my talk show, Sunita.
My pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. So, having your first guru, that's your mom, Minotti Count of asthma, and how was it, what was it feeling that, learning from your mom, the violin? And at what age you picked up the violin the first time?
I was 8.5 years old when I picked up the violin as a toy in my mother's class. She had a class of very serious students who used to who plays who learned from her, and I didn't realize what I was getting into because I would see various sizes of violins because she used to teach young children as well as young adults, and I loved the size of the small violin, so I just picked it up, and then and this student Shubha Lakshmi, whom we call Montiba, she actually taught me the first few. She said you hold the violin, and then Ma was so surprised I could make a sound because the violin initially is a very tough
Yes,
instrument. The violin
absolutely.
typically is not a great is difficult instrument for beginners, and especially for people around the house there is complete noise and cacophony because it's very difficult to create the sound with the bow and the violin, the two instruments that you play together. So Ma was very surprised that I could hold the violin, and of course I would have to. Reason being, I've heard the violin even before I was born. So in fact, just before I was born, Ma started taking lessons from our guru,
Right.
Pandit Biju, yeah, and from her guru of 30 to 40 years, and She initially earlier learned from another guru, Indra Sharma in Jorhat, and then she learned after marriage, after she had both me and my brother, who was 5 years older to me. So after 10 years of her marriage, she started learning from a guru. So which means I was anyway, I had kept hearing the violin even from her womb, you know. And she was one of those devoted, yeah, she was those devoted kinds. She was not a happy-go-lucky artist, performer like people like us, you know. She took it
Yes.
very seriously. Yeah, she would take it very seriously and devoted. It was like God and religion. And so we grew up in a family. Of course, we were Hindu. We grew up in the typical Hindu way with not too much of rituals, but the religion was violent. The discipline was music. The religion was music. The discipline was respect for people older than you who had the, who taught the craft, who were knowledgeable in their craft. So touching your touching feet of our elders was not because of religion, but because of the discipline of the knowledge and he or she is a guru or an elder. So those were the kinds of disciplines we grew up with, and and so religion was music, and academics was parallel. So so she started teaching me, and then at the age of 13, I played the first concert with her, wearing a frock and yeah, first concert with her in Big Boy Club. Again, she has also broken a few myths. Now, the club culture in Assam is extremely elite and extremely happening. In fact, very, very British, because the Britishers put the tea gardens estates in place there, and the oil towns were there. So there was this oil town called Dick Boy, and where she was invited to perform. Again, a rare thing for a classical violinist to be invited to a club where there is a definite dance and dinner and all the Western kinds of influences, because since the British people were there, the oil and tea were very much
Right.
part of their culture. But very much the culture that set around oil and tea was very British, because that's where they discovered oil in Assam. And Dig Boy means dig boy.
Yeah.
Dig boy oil. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful tea town. And she was invited to the club to
Right.
perform. It was anyway a myth that she broke.
Wow.
She has,
Wow.
again, a lot of myths the family broke with her, that being a tradition part of a traditional Assamese family, daughter-in-law of a deputy commissioner in those times, an IS officer, traditional Assamese family with freedom fighters and all of them, had given a permission or had encouraged their daughter-in-law, my mother, who was 30 when I was born,
Right.
to learn violin from a guru at that time. Go to Kolkata. My father was forced and instructed by my grandfather that you had committed that you're going to marry this girl and teach her music from a guru properly. That's the reason, that's the agreement I had with her family. So now that both the children are born and you'll have had 10 years of marriage, you better ensure that you use your good offices to get your connections and train her in Kolkata. So Pandit Guruji was called to our house even before I was born
Oh, wow.
to give the daughter-in-law to learn as a student.
Right.
And she started that whole journey. I was born, and Guruji treated me like a very young like his grandchild. And there was no looking back after that.
Yes.
I've got
Wow.
more to say that I would like you to speak to.
This is so inspiring, and it's so wonderful to know, this bit of about you and your wonderful family, Sunita. I mean, all the wonderful the viewers that you are listening are going to get so extremely inspired by it, because there's so many women after marriage, their lives stop, and after having children, their lives stop even further, you know. And when you share something like this, I think it's so important. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. So
Suhani, is this live on YouTube or on Facebook also?
on both on Facebook also, and on YouTube too.
I don't know. I can't see. I can't see it. Is it on your page or your account on Facebook?
On my account it would be. Yeah.
I think it's on YouTube. I don't think it's yet come on your account, so we'll figure it out. I've shared the YouTube
Okay.
link. I
Okay.
don't
Thank
think
you
it's
so
up on Facebook yet, because my mother can, would sees everything that I do. So anyway, over to you. Over to you.
Yeah, so that's great. All the friends who've joined us on the show today are just completely amazed by your sharing, Smita. So thank you very much. That was really, really, once again, extremely inspiring. So coming, uh, this 8.5-year-old little girl learns how to play the violin, and has really, really broken all the possible myths, and gone around the world playing Assamese folk, And the best part is, whenever I've heard you, you are so into your music, you're so passionate about it, and you're not only a violinist, but you're also a beautiful singer. I can never forget the first time I saw Sunita Bhuyan on stage. She was narrating about these wonderful folk songs and folk tunes from Assam, and how beautifully you narrated, and then you started singing, and the entire crowd was mesmerized. Like they were like completely stunned. So I mean, you're full of it. Like, you sing, you play the violin. How you can manage so much, Sunita? How does this all happen?
The violin is like it was what like I had grown up with. It's like a
Yeah,
toy. It's like a part of me.
yeah,
Singing, what happens is that in our style of learning from our guru, every composition that we learn, we sing it, because my mother and my guru and most gurus of Hindustani or any kind of musical style will vouch for it, that till you internalize the music, till
right,
you feel the notes, till you feel the melody, you can't produce it in an extended instrument, because the violin is an extension of yourself. But you have to feel it within yourself. You've got to get the right chords and the right melody. Um, so you've got to sing the melody to be able
right.
to produce it. So, so the rag yaman.
Yeah.
Re muri ga garana bharana dena re gama pare ga re sa re ga ni re madara ni sa ra pa re sa ni re mada sa ni ra pa re sa re. So if I don't know the notes, and then of
Correct.
course once you learn the notes, you also learn lyrics, and in lyrics you get to know the meaning. So re mori ga garana bharana dena. So Radha is telling Krishna that you're not letting me fill my pail of water, because panya paru tore kanana kuara, panya paru tore kanana kuara, re mori ga garana bharana dena. And now when we go to the antara, the other part of the song, the feeling is that
Right.
she's desperate. She's desperate. She's telling that bar bar samajhaun samajhat dhitalangarava ek hunamana dhitalangarava ek hunamana हार गई मैं हार गई मैं. I mean, I'm begging you. हार गई मैं हार गई मोरे गगरना भरन देना रे मोरे गगरना भरन देना पैया पड़ू तोरे कारण कुंवरा पैया. Again repeating.
Yeah.
So the feeling, so this entire bandish I learned by singing.
Right. Right.
Then
Superb. Superb.
Guruji's amma, Mataji's wife taught me, tum bhajan bhi gao. Guruji ke saath to tum sargam gaate ho. Rumki, my pet name is Rumki. They call me like Rumki. Bhajan bhi gao. Main sikhati hu. ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र. She taught me. So all these I learned singing.
Wow.
Bajat Anjaniya Thuma. So these were all melodies ingrained in us.
Right.
And then the hook was taught by mom
Yeah.
painstakingly, holding me by the hand, almost beating me at times, because when I got to see that the violin was very serious and I had to riyaz and I had to, the discipline, I got very, I don't like too many structures binding me. And, as you know, we know each other. So that binding structure really made me resisted during my teens, by the way. So another story, but
Yeah.
let's carry forward the conversation.
Wow. That was the most brilliant singing. Thank you so much, Sunita. That was really wonderful. So, we've already, there are people already asking us, can ma'am play the violin for us? Can we hear Sunita ma'am play today for us? So
Is it
many,
on Facebook? Is it on Facebook or YouTube?
with all the people who are there right now on my chat are all on YouTube. Yeah, you're right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are they asking? Saturday.
They're all asking, can we hear Sunita ma'am play the violin for today? That's Khushbu Chotalia who's asking that. Then we have Supriya Kabra. Then we have Yogesh Sharma. All of them are very, very excited that you are there on the
I thought Suhani invited me to talk because we haven't talked for a while. Let's see, you have heard me so many times. I don't want you to get bored, but I will take my violin out. Give me a
yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Oh!
What's happening?
So, guys, we are having Sunita Bhuya who's going to play for us today. Isn't that exciting?
Actually, today I'm not in my home studio. As I've told you, I'm just streaming
Yes.
it from, or else when it's the studio, I am, there's different kind of a setup and easy for the violin, and I have my son with me and all of that. But well, I have the violin.
Lovely.
What do you want to hear, Suhani?
One of those beautiful folk pieces that you play. They are just mesmerizing.
I don't have the tanpura.
Yeah.
So, as you know, we just talked about the violin during our sound check. Is there an echo, Suhani?
Sorry?
Sapai boguli sore khamania oi sapai boguli sore যৌবনৰ পুৰণি কহিবনো আৰু ঐ সুকে কোন দামাৰি ধৰে. The birds are chirping. The bird called Ganga Siloni from the Ganges to the Brahmaputra because it's springtime and the lovers are waiting for the loved ones. The parents are waiting for the children and everyone's waiting for spring to come. Ganga Siloni Rati pore pore Ganga Siloni Rati pore pore Ganga Siloni Kiyotoi mati sa Ganga Siloni Ganga Siloni Tihiti pepare ma Ganga Siloni Tihiti pepare ma. Ganga Siloni, Ture Mate Huni, Ganga Siloni, Ture Mate Huni, Ganga Siloni, Rati Nai Tuponi, Ganga Siloni, Ganga Siloni, Pihiti Pepare, Pihiti Pepare. Thank you, thank
Brilliant,
you, thank you.
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. ऐसा लगता है कि सुनते ही जाए, सुनते ही जाए, सुनते ही जाए. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you,
It's going to
Suhani. Thank you.
take me a few seconds to come back because I'm so mesmerized.
And
But this
for
is,
the speakers and the viewers, remember you called me for a chat, and when I said
yes,
offer,
yes.
I'll come with the violin. She said, "Are you sure? Is it real?" I said, "When there are hundreds of so beautiful speakers across the world, what does another one make a difference, right? You know, you have to get a weapon of your choice to come and make a difference." So I thought I'll take my violin with you.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Once again, salute you, Sunita, salute you. Uh, Now I'm going to ask you, something. I just want everyone who's watching this show to know about this wonderful lady, woman, amazing musician who we have here, violinist who have here. She's not only a wonderful person, as in where her music is concerned, not only where her singing is concerned, but she is wonderful from the heart. She knows how to give 20,000 underprivileged children. She has done her music therapy workshop with them. And for that, even the Pope from the Vatican has acknowledged. Uh, Sunita, please tell us about it. And please tell our viewers about it.
Well, actually, it was all by default. And sometimes when you walk into something without expecting anything in return and always trying to experience, I think it opens up different kinds of horizons and experiences and feelings and realizations and learnings for you. And that's what I got from this whole. So as you know, I was an HR professional. I used to work full time with a company called Sintel, which is now Atos Sintel. I'm talking about 2005, 2006. And I always was using music, trying to use music in the corporate world to
Yes.
use it as a tool for learning and leadership and all of that. Eventually, it became a leadership program. But I'm talking about 15, 16 years back when I went to the CSR program of Sintel, which is Espreas. And incidentally, I'm the mentor of Espreas now. I
Okay.
mentor
Wow.
that foundation where because over the years we realized that children need enrichment as much as education. Every child, we now realize has the right to education. Every child has to have access to enrichment because how will you create holistic individuals, better citizens, all-rounded developed citizens, people who care, people who share, people who understand, listen, without introducing them to the arts. Only academics only create machines, and we've seen what machines have done to children. Programs
Right.
that put them into, academics have made machines out of children. Sorry, my body is different. So we went into the community, and these children were there, and they were so quick, they were so receptive. And every time I went into the community, I got in so much of energy from them that it became a positive addiction. You talk about positive addictions. I realized this when I was 30 to 35 years old. And every Saturday, my son was little, in the heat of Bombay, I used to go to Dharavi or to the RA colony or to where these children were in the slums and used to workshops with them. And I didn't know how one community led to the other. Then Don Bosco community, Society of the Poor happened. I did workshops for them in my own home state because Don Bosco, Assam, said, "You're doing so much in Bombay. Why don't you come and do for us?" The Don Bosco street shelter, by the way, Suhani, the street shelter
Yes.
in Matunga was my
Right.
first workshop in 2005.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
a friend of mine, Greg, he said, you did such a wonderful concert last night. It was at the Tata Theatre in NCP. Can you come and play for the children tomorrow? I said,
Right.
I will. I got my violin. And that was the most overwhelming experience. Then the next week, when I went to volunteer for the children, I said, I'm going to carry my violin and go to Espresso of Sintel, my company's CSR program. And then
Correct.
I got addicted to it. And then Don Bosco happened. And I didn't know from where. I completed 15,000 children then. And Father Thomas sent a message to the Vatican. They have to write about all their goodwill ambassadors every year and
Yes.
send those
Yes.
names. A lot of people get, and I was invited, and I got that whole recognition from His Holiness. Uh, well, I didn't realize what would lead to what. It was, and all the energy that I have, all the energy that I get, all the inspiration I get, first comes from the children in the community and then comes from my audiences and classrooms. I owe everything that I've learned in the last 15 years of resilience, of going beyond yourself, of being comfortable with who you are, of being accepting of your environment and your challenges. I've learned from those children. And you know what backgrounds they come from, what lives they
Yes.
lead.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Seriously. Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, 20,000 is a large number, and it just shows uh, perseverance, and it just shows pure giving, completely giving. Wonderful, wonderful, Sunita.
Thank
It's so amazing where you're concerned. Your mom taught you, and some the mother taught the daughter. But you have a son who's also into music. So the legacy continues, when music is concerned. So how does that feel,
It's
Sunita?
a very surreal, very different kind of a feeling. But I must say that I can't take the credit of
Yeah.
teaching him the piano. I think
Mm.
my mom's genes worked on him too. He's a very devoted, very dedicated musician. Unlike me, I don't need to plan. Anyone invites me anywhere, I'll just take the violin and play. But he's very, very, very serious about it. He can practice the same piece over and over again, which I could never do. And that was the main reason I got into tips with my mother, because I never wanted to do riyaz early in the morning or in early evening when I need to be with my
Right.
friends. Yeah, yeah. But he has taken that, and he went to a school in Assam, in a boarding school, where he got that. He learned, played the piano. Of course, I'd exposed him to a lot of music. I'd exposed him to music and the
Yes.
environment. But I
Yeah.
didn't want to waste my youth then. I'm talking about when I was 30, 35. I
Yeah.
still thought I was young. I didn't want to waste my youth like my mother had to by
Yes.
teaching me. Because
Mm.
teaching is an extremely what do you call it? Very, very is an extremely demanding and a very
Yeah.
committed, it's a very committed
Yeah.
profession. You can't, it's not easy to,
Yeah.
it's not easy to teach. So that's the kind of, I didn't want to get into that whole. It's very difficult, but teaching is not just transfer of knowledge. Teaching is creating that impact, creating that difference, and ensuring that the child has learned something new every time he or she interacts. So this whole concept of teaching, like the academies do, or classes, I didn't want to do that because I've seen my mom do it very seriously. So I didn't want to, and then I didn't want to break my relationship with my son, because I used to
Right.
fight with my mom like anything. But then that time we couldn't walk out of the house. We had to listen to our parents. Today's youth will not do that. I was very
Yeah.
scared of that dynamics. So and he took it up on his own, and he has fantastic teachers, so I can enjoy the experience. I don't have the trouble of the responsibility. And
Yeah.
artists
Yeah.
don't like the responsibilities. Performers like to be responsible for themselves and no one else.
Well, it's so beautiful today, Sunita. You and your son perform together. It's so what a wonderful feeling that must be, and what a wonderful experience, especially the first time that you got to perform with your son. What a wonderful experience that must have been, and
I'm
it still
pretty
continues.
I've also got a message on my phone. What about the Assamese thing? Is there sun coming to you? Unfortunately, like I said, because my home studio has has
Right,
been
right.
shifting, so we don't have the piano in this room. So they say we are waiting for your son to join.
See? Wow. Wow. But that's what Sunita Bhuya is all about. People were so excited. I got a lot of messages when they got to know that you're coming on my talk show. First of all, I had people ask me, how did you get on your talk show?
Did you say
I
your
said,
friend?
I said,
Your
I'm
friend?
privileged. I'm very privileged
No,
that I got
no,
to
don't
know
do
her.
that.
And
This is
I
my
think,
thank you. Okay, I want to put it on record. This is my thank you to people like Suhani, who have gone beyond their call of duty to serve the Mumbai city for the last 9 months. From rations to clothes to motivating to sanitizers to masks. I have seen it all. I've seen what people like her, people like my friend, like Project Mumbai, Shishir Joshi, people like Amit Chandra and their program, and all of you, and I've said it over and over again, the way y'all have embraced the difficulties of the Mumbai city, the way y'all have taken the city as your own homes and served them. Salute to all of you.
oh,
Salute to you, Suhani, and your tribe. And that's my main reason of saying yes. Anyway, as a friend, I would have said yes to you. But the reason I said yes is the first program of New Year's is that this has to be a salutation to COVID warriors, and you are a COVID warrior, Suhani. I'm not here as a friend. I'm here as someone and your entire team who has done so
yes,
much. And you
yes,
still are collecting stuff from homes. Home
yes.
to home, you're collecting stuff to give to the people who need them, apart from what you yourself are doing. It is amazing. That needs to be infectious, that needs to be a positive addiction, because without giving, without sharing, we can never enjoy art.
True.
So that's why
Thank
we're
you.
coming here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't believe it. Sunita, our time has just flown by because I was just watching and
It's 6:30
it's
already.
yeah, it's already done. In fact, we've gone over it and I'm totally elated because we've all, I think everyone will agree of what wonderful learnings that we've all got today, the inspiration that we've got from uh, this wonderful lady, Sunita Bhuya, out here and her sharings. Thank you once again. I can't thank you. I don't know how much ever times I thank you. It's not going to be ever enough. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you for inviting.
not at all, not at all. Any parting words uh, for the wonderful audience who want to take up one
If there's no
and
one
listen?
to walk with you,
Yeah,
so a lot of times in life we get very caught up and very frustrated and challenged with what's happening around us. Yet our journey is our own. Our journey is our own, every time we may not have someone to walk with us. So Tagore said, "Jodi tor ডাক শুনে কেউ নাই আসে তবে
yeah.
একলা চলো." If you have no one to walk with you, you've got to walk alone. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে, তবে একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
What a super, super way to culminate this wonderful talk show. I don't think I have any more to say. But again, a big thank you, Sunita Bhuyan. And yes, as I say in my every episode, all you wonderful people, please stay safe and be positive. If there's something worrying you within you, don't keep it bottled up within yourself. Please share it with a very dear friend who you trust, your inner circle, or your family member. You never know what is bothering you could be bothering someone else, and you can help them out. But by keeping it bottled up inside you, it would only harm your health. And if you look after yourself, you can look after your family members. So do that for you and your family, right? On this note, I, Dr. Sohani, would sign off from my talk show today, which was, I think, the most amazing episode of Dr. Suhani Kisang, Arts or Culture Ka Sangam, in collaboration with Brand Newer. Thanks to only one, the one and only Sunita Bhuyan.
Thanks, man.